Greetings, YouTube tribe, and welcome back to my channel, QueenTashasTV. Today I am going to be reading for the full moon, July 3rd, in Capricorn. If you are new here, I have been doing full moon and new moon oracle readings from oracle decks that I have to practice connecting to the collective and practicing my intuitive gifts with my community. So I do card readings for myself all the time. I've done a few for a few friends here and there, but I really want to share this gift with the community. So the reading is mainly geared toward opening up to the community and being able to share a message that is directly connected to all of y'all, and hopefully you guys get something and hear something that really connects with you. So I just wanted to read and do a little shout out to at Zodi_am on Instagram. It says it's for the full moon. It says it's time to fine-tune your legacy. This full moon is helping you release anything getting in the way of creating your empire. Release the past, release the struggle life, release those fears of not being good enough. Expect to elevate. And then she also says, expect emotional understanding, popularity, and high profiles, good feelings, and soul growth, to connect with wealthy women, and prophetic and philosophical insight. So, yeah. Full moons are known for releasing, and the last full moon reading that I did, I definitely was in the mode of releasing connections, people, places, and things that no longer serve me, but also releasing of my RV. And it took a minute for me to record a video and then post it, and I posted that video, and I got a buyer, and so now I am getting ready to release myself from the Purple Palace. So there's only going to be a few more videos with this background. But I'm a little sad about that, but I'm happy about the transition that is about to take place. And I just love what that quote said about release the past, release the struggle life, release those fears of not being good enough. It's time to fine-tune your legacy. This full moon is helping you release anything that is getting in the way of creating your empire. And with that, that just feels so in line and in tune with what's happening, what I'm witnessing, what I'm feeling, what's transitioning, and what I've called into my life, and just hearing that call back. So yeah, today I am going to be reading from the Chakra Wisdom Oracle cards. This was my very first deck when I started tapping into this, probably let's see, 7 or 8 years now I've had this. Wow, long time. And you can start to see and tell it's like when it's been broken in for a long time and used for a lot. But yeah, this was my first deck when I started to tap into my intuitive side. It was shortly after my spiritual awakening that I got this. And it's one of my favorite decks. I haven't pulled from it in a while because I've been really connecting to the new decks that I've pulled from in the last 2 videos. So far I've pulled from the Goddess deck when I did a new moon pull last new moon, and then I did the secret animal, or the secret language of animal oracle deck for the full moon last time. So yeah, I love this deck because it's real colorful with all of the chakra colors. And then the book is also in color, which I like. The other books are not in color, which I'm just like, it's so beautiful, the packaging and the cards and everything, and then the book is in black and white, so but this one is in color. And I think it's on purpose just because it has to specifically do with colors, the chakra, the different colors of the chakra. So it only makes sense that it is in color. So yeah, as I'm shuffling the deck, oh, before I shuffle the deck, let me go ahead and do a little cleansing. I'm going to use a little piece of this dragon's blood. And we're just going to cleanse out the space. And invite the collective into this reading, and that all receive what they need to receive. I love dragon's blood. It smells so good at it, and it burns really good. Stick that over there. That will. Soak that over there. All right, now I'm gonna get into the deck. So as I'm shuffling the deck, think about what you want to release in this full moon. It can be people, it can be situations, jobs, mindsets, resistance, anything holding you back. For me, I'm just reiterating some of the things that from last full moon. It doesn't always have to be something new, because you know, we're not, I mean, the seasons of, or the phases of the moon happen within a 30-ish day cycle, but like we can't always make things happen that quickly. I'm very surprised on how quickly my RV sold, and I still feels too good to be true. So I just really want to release that resistance, any resistance that is holding me back from what was it holding me back from acquiring my empire, or having a successful empire. I've got so many great things that I'm looking forward to on the horizon. One being my birthday, my 40th birthday coming up, and I finally booked a trip. It took me, I had so much anxiety just like booking a trip because I didn't know where I wanted to go. I didn't want to go by myself, and I was like, and I also wanted to budget travel, so I was just like, I don't know where to go. And you know, Colombia was on my mind, but I was like, it wasn't on like the list of places that I was like thinking about going this year. So I was like resistant to that at first, and it didn't feel good, and I was just like, let me find something else. And I just scrambled around for a really long time, and finally circled back to to Colombia. And now I'm really excited because I did really want to go to Colombia at some point. I thought it would be on my road trip, and now I'll get to see a little part and then know where to go back to when I go on my road trip. And the road trip is the Pan American Highway, where I would have to fly there anyway. There's no driving to Colombia. Not yet. If they ever get that Darien, I don't know why there's not a bridge. I'm not really sure why there's not a bridge. a bridge or a tunnel. I mean, it's not that far from Panama to Colombia in the Darien Gap. So yeah, I'm not really sure why that's a thing, but we will find out. But anyways, I digress. Yeah, releasing. I'm definitely wanting to continue to release the mindset that I don't deserve what's coming next, which is great things. And I'm excited, and I'm so looking forward to what's next in my life. And each goal that is being accomplished, one, starting with my laptop, releasing an old laptop that was no longer serving me the way that I needed to serve me, and was able to transition into the laptop that I have now. And I'm grateful for it, and I've been able to get a lot of work done on it, and it has recharged my motivation and wanting to work. And then now with the RV, finally, releasing of the RV and deciding to sell it, and selling it. It's another thing that's just happening on the list. Next up is love, so releasing any resistance to love, loving myself, and releasing any resistance to love, and yellow flags. See, there's red flags, which is like deal breakers. And then there's green flags, which is like, that's why I like you, that's why I'm attracted to you. But then there's yellow flags that happen. And those are like transitional moments, growth moments, things that you have to work on, things that you can compromise through. It's like this flag of like, slow down and make sure it's not a red flag. But also, like, it could be leading to a green flag. So it's not a gray area, it's a yellow flag. Something to be aware of that could change your mind about something. But yeah, if the way things are going smoothly, they're the way they are right now, love will be next. But first, I go on vacation. I release all resistance to anything that will block my vacation from happening, because I'm going on my birthday trip. But anyways, today I'm going to be doing a 3-card pull, just to keep it short and sweet. We're already at 12 minutes, 13 minutes, so I'm going to keep it short and sweet. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do a pull off the top of the deck. I love these cards as well because they're like, they're more hand friendly to be able to shuffle and not have to like stretch your hands too much. They're really nice when it comes to that. So pulling right off the top, ooh, that one wants to come out. We've got Despondence, which is our third eye chakra, with the purple, represented by purple. And then we have Vanity, which is blue, representing our heart chakra. Your throat chakra. And the color of what I'm wearing today. Not the same color here. And then our third card is Service, which is the orange card that represents our sacral chakra. Fun stuff here. Alright, put the cards over here, so let me just make sure you guys can see the Despondence. Hard to get the good camera thing going on. And we've got Vanity and Service. All right. I've pulled Despondence before. I feel like I've pulled all of these cards before at some point, but I have not pulled cards out of this deck in a very long time. So I'm excited to find out and revisit these. So this deck has for each section has a card at a glance. So it has the purple cards at a glance. So it gives you kind of like a summary of what that card is. And then each page has the legend, which is like a little fable story about the card. And then inspiration, personal inquiries, key ideas, keywords, and meditation. And it's kind of like a suggestion of meditating on this card, which when I pulled this deck out, I was like, I usually don't read that. I don't know why I don't read that, because I feel like it's like you got to stop and meditate. But it's really just like, meditate on this, like think about this in this way, like almost like a mindset shift or perspective, different perspective. So here we go. Despondence. Violet Iris. You have all the answers you need within. This card may indicate an emotional tie that no longer serves you. Remember how you relate to the issue is the issue. Obstacles are removed when you change your relationship to them. Despondence. By taking action, I found the road out. The legend. Iris is depressed and unable to look after herself or her home. She cries out to the Great Spirit for help. Mother Earth appears and suggests Iris shower, eat a good meal, and clean up her house. She does, but still feels despondent. Suddenly, a hurricane hits and Iris springs into action to rescue her neighbor's children. In the urgency, Iris finds the way out of depression by taking action. Inspiration. Iris teaches us that the only route out of stagnation is motion. If we do nothing, we must accept the consequences. Personal inquiry. In which part of my life am I feeling immobilized? I know what I need to do. Am I willing to trust myself? Key ideas. Feeling helpless, acceptance of circumstances, change on the horizon, taking action. The key words are revelation, movement, and encouragement. And the meditation is, imagine an expansive countryside with nothing to block the view. The wind blows and without warning carries you to a place of sadness. Ask the great spirits to reveal the action you must take. You will either intuitively know what to do, or it will soon be revealed to you. Open your eyes and see that all is calm. Be grateful. What I take from this card is just like so much like relativity, I guess. Iris is depressed. Like if you know me, you know that I've been struggling with my depression over the last year and a half. So yeah, that, and then but taking action. For me, I've had this conversation with myself several times over the last couple of weeks. Like, why do I get out of bed and keep going forward when everything around me sometimes feels like it sucks? Like, it's just like I'm barely surviving. Like, why do I get up in the morning? You know what I'm saying? Like, why? Or when I wake up, why am I so enthusiastic or so stressed or motivated to continue on, to keep moving forward towards my goals? Like, because you have to have a why to get out of bed. Or you have to have a why to keep struggling to get towards something. And sometimes I don't know what that why is, and I'm still struggling to like figure it out specifically. But I mean, I know that it's because I haven't fulfilled my destiny yet, and that I'm here for greater purpose than myself. And yeah, and something about that drives me. And I want to dig deeper into like what that is. And I feel like I'm getting closer to like feeling what that means, like the why. So yeah, that really resonated with me. And for me, it's always motion. Like I can't sit in my sadness for too long. Otherwise, like I just don't relate to non-functioning depressive people. Like I'm a high-functioning depressive person, so you would never know that I'm depressed because I'm up doing stuff. I have good days and I have bad days. I suffer in silence and then I put on a smile, you know. So it's like there's no way you would know because I'm always so productive. Productiveness is what keeps me going, but also makes me depressed too, or gives me anxiety in a sense because, you know, I'm pushing toward goals that I've set for myself. So I'm setting goals and only failing to myself, but not to any external outcome of anything. And so I put pressure on myself and stress my own self out with my own goals. So yeah, it's a very interesting cycle that I'm still trying to figure out. But I keep moving, and the am I willing to trust myself thing. That's what I'm getting better and better at doing and feeling better and better about doing, is trusting myself, trusting my intuition. And that's one of the reasons why I'm doing these readings, because I feel like there's people in my community, the people that follow and listen to seen my stories and listen and are inspired by me, that there's messages, or there's a message that I need to relay. So that's why I am doing these readings as well and sharing these readings with you, because they end up being very personal for me. Like I'm a little choked up even just like reading this card, but it's also from a greater place. Like there's somebody that really needed to hear that. So yes. So yeah, that's Despondence, the purple chakra. And it was the first card in that sequence. So moving on to Vanity in the throat chakra, which my throat chakras. Hold on. It's gonna be so weird not being in here, but I'm excited to not be in here. All right, so the card at a glance. Vanity, Aqua people. The tenuous balance between what is true in our heart and what we communicate is reflected in Agua. Are you living and communicating your truth, or just playing along? This may be a time of awakening to a new way of being. Be aware of distractions that may pull you away from the true you. Aqua people, I need more, better, bigger. Yes, that will make me okay. The legend. Crystal, Peter, and Mike are at a party in Mike's posh home, toasting success in their business. A mysterious old man appears and asks them whether they prefer gluttony or generosity. Puzzled, none of them answered. He reminds them that more does not mean better, and they laugh. Suddenly, they are alone, far from the party, in rising water. We're getting more, cries Peter. Rain falls and the water rises faster. Play, shouts Crystal. We must do well with what we have. As they begin to have fun in the water, the rain stops. Interesting. Inspiration. We all say we will stop when we have enough, but there's never enough. You may be looking outside yourself for validation. The personal inquiry. Am I feeling disconnected from any people in my life? Am I growing away from limiting relationships? Key ideas. Environmental tension, living in illusion, self-doubt, power to change, lesser companions, empty conversations. Keywords. Faith, awareness, and transformation. Meditation. I would suggest when I read the meditation that you close your eyes. Because it kind of, I think, suggests that by saying meditation. But anyways, visualize an aqua light within you. Imagine people you love surrounding you. Feel the light building and spilling onto your loved ones. Send gratitude to those you love and those you have yet to meet. Bless them all. Notice the energy and any messages that you receive. Ashe. So, what I get from this card, or what I resonated with this card, is don't take things too seriously. In the sense of having more and having different cannot be what you think. It looks like in this fable that at one point somebody panics, but then the girl says, we must do well with what we have. And she shouts out, play, and then the rain stops. And for me, that just saying that right there just made me think, like, you do have to take time for yourself and remember where you're at and be grateful for what you have. And I'm grateful that I've been able to be in my RV for 3+ years. Like, I've never lived this long in any dwelling in my entire adult life. And so it's very strange that I've been here this long, and I'm super grateful still. And I'm grateful that I've learned a lot having her. And sometimes you just have to laugh about some of the things that happen. But yeah. I hope that card resonated with someone. And I will move on to the next card. So the next and last card is Service. And it is represented by the orange chakra, which is our sacral chakra. And the card at a glance is Service, Honey Adams. The energy here is one of manifesting through being of service. This card indicates a steadfast ability to stay the course emotionally and create something sustainable and lasting. It can also bring to light not seeing or valuing what you have. I attract to you whatever you desire if you give up your desire. It's a little law of attraction trick. The legend. Honey Adams loves her 3 children very much and had a rewarding family life, though sometimes she regretted never finding a career outside of the home. At the end of her life, she realized that this failure was not a failure at all. She has achieved something more important, passing on a legacy of service to her daughter, Franny. Being a mother is a great accomplishment. Inspiration. Are you seeing your life as it really is? Though we may wish things to be different, often we create just what we need. This is an opportunity to look at where you are today. Give up what you think you deserve and start being of service. Personal inquiry. How does the idea of service inspire me? How can I make the most of my present situation? What can I give? Key ideas. Favoritism. Unwillingness to compromise values. Finding contentment. The joy of service. Precious memories. Keywords. Compassion, loyalty, and strength. The meditation. Keep relaxing until you find yourself in a place where you feel safe. Honey is there. She has come a long way to visit you. It doesn't matter what you say. Simple words are fine. Explain to Honey why this place is safe. Now she has to go. She gives you a warm hug and thanks you for meeting her. Watch her walk into the light. What was the last thing you told her? Open your eyes and write it down. The first thing that hit me, like gut punched me, was the last statement that says, being a mother is a great accomplishment. And it's something that I truly and still desire and want to have. And it's interesting that it said, what was it? The desire thing, where did it say that? Oh, it was the top one. I attract to you whatever you desire if you give up what you desire. And it's really interesting because in a sense I've given up the idea or the mindset of like the timing of when a child or when I should have a child. You know, I'm already past societal norm age. I'm headed into my 40s, which in America is considered a geriatric mom, which I think that's a silly word to call anybody in their 40s. But it's still a goal that I have, and I think I would definitely be crushed if I wasn't able to do that. But I've also done some work to release that idea, that desire, and the societal norm and pressure of like the timeline in which I should have a child and hurrying up to do it and all of that, and let it flow in when it will come. And I would love to create and birth a child for sure. I think that's the way that I want to go, but I'm also open to other possibilities. So that gut punched me at first. It's like letting go of that desire, so that you can have that desire. And that's basically like a law of attraction loophole. It's like you can want it, you also have to be grateful that you already have it and release that attachment to it and wait for it to flow back in. And then the other thing that I resonated with was just the service in general. I've had this conversation with myself before. I talk to myself a lot. You gotta talk to yourself a lot. Or with ourselves, we gotta be one with yourself. Anyways. But I was having this conversation with myself about how, since I was very, very young, I've always wanted to be of service. Like, how I always wanted to help and help people the way that they've helped me, in return, be in that sense of giving back, you know, and then also just being able to detach from my own survival mode that I've always lived in, that I was born into and was programmed to adapt to. And now for the last 5 to 7 years, we'll say, I've been trying to reprogram myself into detaching from survival mode and living in abundant mode. And let me tell you, it's a hard trick to do when your bank account is low. But yeah, I wanted to be able to detach from and being able to give fearlessly. You know, when you are so attached to making sure you're straight and never being behind and not wanting to struggle and not wanting to ask for help and wanting to be independent and wanting to do for yourself and wanting to help others when you can barely help yourself. It's very scary to want to give, even if it's a couple dollars, even if it's, you know, for me, time is more valuable than things or money or actual things. Time is more valuable. But it's like if I give time away, then that's less time for me to make money to be able to survive, or it's less time for me to do what I need to do to survive that or whatever. So I want to be able to give and be of service fearlessly, and that's the other thing that resonated here with me is, you know, what can I give? How can I make the most out of the present situation? And I think I'm always trying to do that, even when I shouldn't give my time. But I definitely have gotten and put more boundaries, internal boundaries on myself in offering things that I know that don't feel good to me. I know people do that. It has a little part of programming to be nice, you know, to come off nice, even if it's not genuine. You know, you're like, oh, I can help you do that, and you have no intention, and you won't pick up the phone on the day of, and you're not available. It's like, so why did you offer? You know, not doing that. Only giving when it feels good for you to give. Only giving when it comes from a genuine place. So yeah. But yeah, I hope that one of those cards or all of those cards resonated with you, and the messages that came through the fables or the inspiration or the meditation. I know for me, you know, just looking at the chakra, the third eye chakra, the throat chakra, and the sacral chakra, those are always all areas that I am working through, especially the throat chakra, which is speaking my truth, and also speaking up for myself and giving myself grace and being soft and not feeling have to be so hard and independent, which is another that's another programming that we get as Black women, is to be independent and strong, and fearless, and all this stuff. And you know, it blocks us from wanting to accept help or feeling good about accepting help and feeling good and feeling worthy about receiving. But yeah, that's all I have for today. I'm going to close out with a little smudge as well. I hope that you enjoyed that reading, and you will come back for each new moon and full moon reading that I'm doing. I'm hoping that I get a little bit better and organized, and a little less nervous because I am still like nervous I'm doing this in front of my camera. It's not live. I feel like I'm less nervous when I do it live, but also just less nervous in general because I'm not sharing the message or sharing the energy that comes in, like the things that I have to process, like that's coming through, especially a lot of like just intuitive like feeling of something that needs to be said. So yeah, and how to communicate that out to the collective. So yeah, I hope you come back, and that's all for me. Peace and blessings. I'm out.